Alright, we ready?
What are we doing?
We're talking about part 5. Hey guys, welcome back to the discussion. As I said at the top, we're doing part 5 of the Well of Ascension by Sir Sanderson, and I just wrapped it up this morning. That's starting to be a trend. But anyways, and I was quite impressed with how some of the characters, how they, I don't know, I was just impressed with their actions this part.
I kind of feel like it was, they just bit the bullet and did what they had to do.
Right. But there is some sadness. But anyways, we'll get to that eventually. First of all, let's go to our Lord Alind.
Okay.
Right out the gate, he impressed me. He's all, because Tyndwell, they've decided they're going to leave Luthadel.
And then he had to shut her up.
Yeah, Tyndwell's all like, no, you are these people's people. You need to stay here. And he's like, silence, woman.
I don't think that's verbatim.
Well, no, that's not what I'm getting some creative licensing here. But he pretty much says, no, this is what I'm doing. My wife, she needs to go do this, and I support her decision. And then Tyndwell starts trying to talk trash about Vin, with Vin sitting right there, and he's like, that is my wife. You will not talk about her like that. So I was like, you get it, Alin. You tell her. Because, okay, let's be honest. I didn't really, hate Tyndwell, but I never grew on her. She never grew on me. I never really liked her.
I liked her, but that's more just, as a character, knowing her background and the stuff that, happened.
Yeah.
I can accept
why she is the way she is. Yeah, I guess. Alright, we'll let it go. But, so yeah, he did that. Mm-hmm. And then they head on out of town. Him, Spook, and Vin. And, fast forward. Spook comes back because he's been going out, keeping an eye on things.
He's kind of scouting.
He's scouting, make sure they're safe on their journeys. Which, by the way...
He's burning way too much tin.
I was going to say, is tin like crack? And he's, really addicted?
He, for lack of a better term, of a way of explaining it, I feel like he feels like he's useless.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
So he's trying to...
He seemed very woe is me, lack of confidence.
Also, as you find out, he's feeling rather cowardly for withholding information.
Right. Yes, because he essentially lied to them.
Well, they all lied to them.
Right. But anyways, so yeah, Spook is out doing his thing. Not feeling too confident about his life right now. But anyways, so he reports back that there's an army or a group of men, somewhere down the line. So they all go to check it out, and it's Justice, the guy who's supposed to have the Kolos under control, which he does not.
And Elend.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Elend. Oof, I love it, because he's, Justice is all like, I'm so sorry, and, please forgive me.
I'm not going to say he lost his stuff, but
he's like, because Justice is all trying to make amends now, because freaking Luthadel, the Kolos have no longer pay attention to Justice. He has them not under control at this point, so he left. But, so now he's trying to seek, refuge under Alind, and Alind, is all like, you know what, you're my friend, I forgive you, but my kingdom doesn't forgive you. And he's all like, fa-cha! And takes his head off.
One motion.
And I'm like, what? Where was this Alind when they were all like, thanks, but no thanks, we're going to pick a different leader?
Could you imagine the Elend from, the parties?
Yes.
In one stroke with a sword beheading someone?
Could
you imagine that?
He's grown.
Oh, yeah.
He's grown.
It hurt him.
Right, because that's his friend. He did say, I forgive you.
But
it's his kingdom.
He led...
It's his people.
Monsters, basically, to innocence.
Yeah. So he had some growth that I was impressed with. And it also kind of seems like at the end of the part that he is pretty much the king again. I mean, it's not official, but Vin goes in there and pretty much says, I just saved all y'all's asses from the Kolos, okay? And you're going to now take a knee and serve him.
Well, would you want to go back and discuss how Vin got there?
Yeah, we can go back. So first, go ahead.
At the point that Ellen beheaded Justice, basically they found out from Spook what was going on.
That they were actually not heading towards the Well of Ascension.
And then when she thought about it, the pulses had been getting weaker.
And she realizes that the well is in Luthadel. Okay, now, when I was reading, I had a thought. So, there's this adium stockpile that everyone seems to think exists, but no one seems to be able to find. Now, I don't know if we know, but back when the Lord Ruler was around and the Venture household was mining the adium, were they the ones who were storing it away, or was the Lord Ruler storing it away?
It wasn't really
discussed. I know. It's because I was thinking, are the Well of Ascension and the adium like related somehow? No one would be able to find it because, except the Lord Ruler, because he went to the well. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe the pulsing is part of the adium. I don't know.
I'm not gonna be able to tell you anything.
Can't. Nope. Okay. Well. Okay. So
like,
it's not a far-fetched idea. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna end it on that subject. So, anyways, she finds out. Yes, the well is actually in Luthadel. So she decides to head back. But before she does that, and I think before the beheading of Justice, she catches a mist spirit. Trying to take out a limb.
And she hit something physical with her blade. Deflected.
Catch mist. Catch spirit. I don't know. Rush. That's all I can think of. Anyways. Well then. So she has another encounter. But actually, this time it's like a real encounter. Because before, she's just sensed the mist spirit out there. Except for the one time when she got pushed, but there was nothing there. So,
well, they're further away.
Right.
So,
further away from Luthadel, and where the well is.
Because remember, like the further they got out, the longer the mist would stay.
That's true. Yes, that's right. I forgot about that part.
I figured.
Sorry. Okay. So anyways, yes, she's heading back to Luthadel. So, meanwhile, while she's en route to doing that, let's jump over to Luthadel and see exactly what's going on. They're under attack. The Kolos have lost their mind, and they've said, we're doing this. Now, outside of Luthadel, Straff is sitting here being the ass that he is.
Pull the armor back.
Let the Kolos do their thing. Let the Kolos do their thing. And at first I thought I'll just come. He was thinking I'll come in and I'll save the day, and then they'll just hand the city over to me. But then it turns out he's just like, let it be taken down completely. I'll start anew. Who's he gonna rule though? If you ain't got no subjects because they've been killed, who you gonna rule? But you know what? We ain't gotta worry about that.
Well, anyways, inside of Luthadel, I appreciated like our master planner Doxson.
Yes, he is a
strategic genius.
Yes, that's the word. Well, that works, but...
Anyways, he takes members of the crew, the people that he trusts, and he splits them up between the gates with the other forces. And it's kind of like, if you're going to have a chance, that's...
Yeah, so I say it was badass because he did that, and then... Sazed, the one who's
MVP.
Yeah, the one who's been going around, I don't really have any combat training or anything. He steps up to the plate via his pewter and all of his metals.
He used up everything.
He's been storing for years. But he's taken the Kolos out, and he manages to get his gate somewhat secure, even if it's only for a little bit.
And he might not have done that, except for followers of the Church of the Survivor. They're like, if you're here, this is where she's going to show up.
Exactly, because they're still holding on for Vin to come back. Even though he's thinking, no, she's not coming back. I sent her away. And then he starts feeling all bad about, I sent her away. You know. I do feel for Sazed in this part, though. Because I feel like he's starting to get, like, spook. And he's having no confidence in himself. And he's like, I'm a man who knows all these religions, but I don't believe in a single one. And
I wouldn't say he's losing.
He's losing confidence too because he sent them away, and he's like, "What have I done? I have given up on these people are still believing in the air, and he's pretty much given up. He's like, she's not coming back."
I guess you could call it confidence. I call it more he's lost direction wise.
Right.
He doesn't know where and how to
go
because. When Lord Ruler was there, it was simple. You know, he had to gather information, keep information safe, and help rebel, which was his own little thing.
Right.
Now, everything is, there's no script.
Right. I also feel bad because he does lose someone that he cares for.
He lost a few people.
Well.
But the one main one you're talking about, Tyndall.
Yep. Which she wasn't supposed to stay. She was supposed to have gone, but she did not.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
she died for love.
So, I'm like, yay, Saze, because he's all like kicking ass and taking the Kolos out, and he's like actually leading soldiers. But then I'm also like, no, poor Saze, because he's just questioning so much in life right now, and he's lost his love.
And I feel bad when he found the body.
Oh, yeah, that was a little rough. Because she was like frozen, because apparently it's winter now.
Yeah, you didn't. The whole build up there.
I know, but it's like full blown winter now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good for Sazed. So he was the second badass. They didn't really talk about what Ham was doing, but
he got injured.
Yeah, he got injured, so I'm sure he was being a badass somewhere.
And they kind of, pointed to him being a thug is the only reason he was still alive.
Right, pretty much.
Because he had lost so much blood.
Mm-hmm. And then Breezy. Man, he did not do so well in this.
No.
I mean, he's alive. He's still alive.
He's mentally...
scarred.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah. I mean, he ended up in the fetal position.
And stayed there.
Yeah. So, but he started out trying to do what he does best, and it was just not working. And I don't know what happened. He had a breakdown.
Yeah, well...
But, go ahead.
They kind of built up, him and Clubs together, like sharing.
Yes.
And then he witnessed...
Clubs getting taken out by the Kolos sword. No more Clubs. Ugh.
That one hurt.
That one hurt. I mean, I was like, no! And
then when Sazed found him and he had
the religious medal around him. So yeah, but Clubs was a badass leading all the way up until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze, though, he did not handle this very well.
Well, and but Clubs kind of embraced it ahead of time. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as the army showed up, he's like, we're dead.
He's a veteran.
Right, but he used that experience to go with his expectation. Mm-hmm. Breeze is not a fighter.
Well, I also wonder too, though, if prior to all this, remember Lady Alrianne, or however you say her name, Set's daughter, it almost seemed like Breeze and her had formulated a plan to try and get Set's army to come back. So maybe he was kind of counting on that, and then...
I actually don't think so.
No?
I think that was her own initiative.
So that was her own thing. Well, anyways.
Because he, like, when she left, he's like, oh, good, she's gone.
Yeah, but at the same time...
But I don't remember any part where he was...
Well, there was nothing in here where they were together planning it.
No. Like, when she was going away, he was just more relieved she was gone. Not like, my plan is in motion.
Well, he was relieved because he knew the city was getting ready to be sacked.
Right.
But then when we were with her, it almost sounded like she's like, oh, this is the best I can do, Breezy. I hope it's good enough. Like, maybe they had somewhat discussed it, but...
He might not believe it, but she loves him.
Okay. Well, so I thought maybe they had planned it, and then when the army didn't show up.
I didn't see it that way.
Okay. Well, anyways, we can all see it how we want to see it.
Your headcanon is different than mine.
Right. So,
I like her little part in it too.
Yeah.
Trying to bring her father's army back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she eventually is like, if you want to protect me, you got to charge forward, and she just takes off, heading towards Luthadel.
Dad's weakness.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Daddy's little girl. So the Kolos are attacking. In this war, this battle, we end up losing clubs, Dachshund. We lose Breeze mentally. And we lose a lot of soldiers. But we also lose a lot of Kolos. Apparently they were doing pretty good at taking them out. They actually put up a fight.
More than they probably should have.
More than they should have.
And as far as Dachshund, like, he was still trying to run things until the end.
Yep, he was.
Scribes were running around like crazy, and
yep, everybody fought until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Until they couldn't fight anymore. When the Kolos were like, what's the word I'm looking for? Breaching the walls.
Oh, coming over the wall?
Coming up, yeah. When they were, first coming over.
There's so many bodies, they could actually, like, climb the bodies to go over the wall.
And they can, like, all I could picture was Attack on Titan. Because they, like, just step over the wall. Anyways, that's just me.
I kind of went different.
Where'd you go?
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Wow. That's like our second Ghostbusters reference in this trilogy.
That's not exactly what they look like in my head.
No.
But like that kind of like.
Yeah.
You actually spend a lot of time with Saz in this.
As they're battling it out, and you're really in his head and all that. But let's go outside the walls. Can I just say this? Something I didn't see coming. So Ven makes it back to Luthadel. But, she has to go through some armies before she gets there. Or no, wait, was this before? Nope, this was after. She goes back to Luthadel. She does her thing.
She comes in Saz Gate.
Yep, comes through Sazed Gate, takes out the Kolos, does her thing. Chop, chop, chop,
and then she realizes she can't kill the whole army.
She can't kill the whole army. But she's not there to tell herself, you can't do this, like she did with Kelsier.
Yeah.
So she's doing her thing. But then, she goes to freaking Lord Penrod, keeping the people out. What's wrong with him? She has to go in there and tell him. This is after, though. After she discovers how the Lord Ruler kept the Kolos under control for so long. Care to explain?
They're cousins to the Khandra.
Yes, they're cousins to the Khandra. Yes.
And she figured out with Tinsun
or Seer
how to take him over. So she was about to watch a little girl, I believe, get killed.
Yep.
And she didn't even think about what she was doing. I don't really think. She just, boom.
Yep, she activated the duraluminum.
With bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or brass.
I don't know.
Is brass
whichever one
soothing.
Is mental, yeah.
And she took over all of them right there. They like instantly stopped raging.
Yeah.
So when she came up with the Penrods with the Kolos,
one of them like lifted her up so she could like be all, you piece of junk, let us in, blah blah blah, and then it lifted her back down.
And then she looks over at Ham, who's just like there with his arm, dragging.
Mm-hmm.
I need pewter.
Yeah. And so he gives her that, and then they go outside of Luthadel. She takes
Not
her.
yet.
Well, go ahead.
Because they have to finish the night.
Go ahead.
So she takes over the rest of the Kolos, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then Straff's there in the morning. They're getting ready to go into the city.
Right.
And then they see the Kolos come out and start lining up.
Yes.
And then they see soldiers come out and start lining up.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's he see?
Ven.
Well, at first he's like, is that an arrow? Is that a rock?
It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Ven! Lena. And he's like, she's not supposed to be here. And she
dead.
just takes the Kolo sword and slices him and his horse in half.
Poor horse.
And I was just like, finally!
She left one of the
generals.
Yeah.
Which, that one, I mean,
he was kind of more against.
I don't think he was so pro Straff.
Yeah, he was kind of against them.
Because when Straff was like, just let them all die, he was just kind of like, wait, what? No, that's not how we do this.
He has more honor.
Yeah. So, and then meanwhile, Set is like, holy crap, because his army's sitting over on a hill, and they're like, the Kolos are attacking Straff. Well, let's go team up with them. So he comes in and kind of helps. And then that's where I said I think Elend is now officially the king, because she's like, Tickany, he is now your leader.
You're forgetting a part.
Well, jump in.
So, remember Saz, comes out there, still sad, but then asks him to witness. And he witnesses all these people taking the knee, this, that, and the other. All the while, in his head, he's comparing it to the Hero of Ages, prophecy.
Right. What was it? It said, well, actually, I could probably pull it up here real quick. I don't know if this is what you're thinking of. He left ruin in his wake, but it was forgotten. He created kingdoms and then destroyed them as he made the world anew. We had the wrong gender all along.
That, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's pretty now that all the shit's hit the fan.
Right. Okay, so I want to talk about the blurbies.
Okay.
Okay, because I had a thought. Okay, Kuang, the scholar, who dubbed Elendi the hero, but then decides, no, he's not. And then sends his nephew, Rashek, to be Elendi's packman, knowing that Rashek does not want someone who is not of their terrace lands to be the leader. Now here's my my question, okay? And it may have been discussed and I just forgot. Okay. He chose Elendi. Why now does he feel not confident? Hang on. And when he sent Rashek, he knew Rashek didn't care for this guy. So was that the plan? I mean, I know the plan was to divert him from going to the well. But was the plan for, did Rashek do all this, I'm taking the Lord Ruler status myself? Or was that Kuang's plan? How much of this Kuang is involved? Because he's the one who originally said Elendi is the chosen one. And then something happened, and now he's saying he's not.
Well, I feel like... Sorry to cut you off there.
No.
But I feel like I won't answer that.
Oh.
Because,
you feel like you won't answer it?
No, because generally the blurbs make sense.
Later?
There's a part for each book where it's like...
Well, because I know... But did it say in here why he changed his mind? And I just don't remember? Or maybe it hasn't been said yet.
I don't think it's really been, confirmed.
All that's been said is that he can't have the power. I think. That's what I remember.
The blurbies are very contradicting of themselves.
Yeah.
And
then knowing that Rashek doesn't care for this guy, why would you send him with him?
I don't remember exactly because it's been a long time. But I will say there was one thing said in the blurb, or something said earlier that I believe answers this to a degree. But I don't want to quote it because I don't remember if it's exactly true.
And you don't know where it was at? Or are you for sure it was we've already read it?
Oh, I know where we read it.
Okay. Yeah, well. So that was just my wondering. Why? But I feel like if it's already been read...
Yeah, but it's the same thing as you put stuff there hidden so that when it hits later...
Right, but I'm saying if the reason for why he changed his mind's already been explained,
No, the part I'm thinking of, I can't really tell you.
Okay, I'll just leave it at that.
It's very...
It explains it all?
To me, I think, if I remember right, it does, but...
Okay, but we haven't experienced it yet. That's
The
what you're
conclusion.
telling me. Okay. I guess we're going to be in a rebuilding phase.
Not quite yet.
But the battle with the Kolos is done, and everyone has sworn allegiance to a land. Who still has to come back to Luthadel? He hasn't made it back yet.
Okay, can I just point out there's still 10% of the book left?
There is. I'm trying to think of where we're going. That's what I'm saying. We'd be in like a rebuilding phase, maybe. Well, I guess I know that. But, I mean... So what? There has to be more to Luthadel besides... I mean, that is a big part of it, I know. But, I mean, you know...
Well, there's still more climax.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to think of where we might be going.
Right.
Eventually, I would think we're going to be rebuilding Luthadel.
Maybe not in this book.
Well, in the series, whatever. Now you made me lose my thought when you started questioning my thoughts. Grrr.
I'm sorry.
Ugh. I was trying to think of, other than the well, where we may be going.
Right.
But now I can't remember where I was going. Damn it. Well, then I think we've covered it all. I mean, well, I guess then, you know, we still don't know nothing about Marsh's status. Tinsoon was sent back for reassignment. I would like to think he's gonna not be gone. I would hope he's coming back. And I think we're good with part 5. I think we covered it all. If not, you know what to do. Hit us up in the comments. I think we're good.
Alright.
Alright, so part 6 and epilogue
Next week.
next week. See you then.
See it.